In the NBA, fans and media have opinions, and some of those opinions can be called hot takes. These may be outrageous to one person, but may make sense to another person. And today, we're going to be doing a new episode of Hot Sauce Takes, where on this channel, I take 4 to 5 takes that I want to talk about in a video. I give you my reaction, and if I agree or disagree. I do this every week on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, around there. And if you want to be on a potential video, be on the lookout for Sunday morning around there. I'm going to do a community post like you see on your screen to potentially be in a video. So that being said, let's get right into it. Now the first take comes to us from Krish NA, and he says, Stephen Curry is one of the most skilled players of all time, with his ball handling, playmaking, finishing, and many more aspects of his game. Stephen Curry, over the last couple of years, has changed the NBA and basketball in general forever. Before, mid-range jump shots were common, but now basically everyone is shooting three-pointers, even 7-footers who are splashing it from downtown. Curry has won 2 MVPs, multiple All-NBA and All-Star teams, and has won 3 NBA champions. He is the greatest shooter of all time, an underrated passer, and his gravity off the ball allows teammates to get pretty open looks, and it also helps when Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant are getting those open looks. You have to be skilled to do basically all of this, or then basically everyone would be shooting logo threes at a 40% clip. And because basically Damian Lillard and Stephen Curry are the only ones that do it, it takes a lot of skill, and not everyone can do this. I agree with this take, as Curry's shooting alone makes him perhaps the most skilled player ever. And then with his passing, gravity, and leadership, that's just the cherry on top. Curry is an amazing player, and not everyone can be the player that Curry is. And with just being able to shoot that deep, that efficient, it takes so much skill to do that. And he's definitely one of the most skilled of all times. Even though he's not athletic like Michael Jordan or LeBron, he still adapts to the cards he was dealt, and he still is a top 15 player. And his shooting, his passing, his gravity, that's all an aspect and just shows his skill. Now the next take comes to us from Sebastian, and he says, Kawhi Leonard's defense right now is overrated, and it isn't as good as Spurs' Kawhi Leonard. When you think of Kawhi Leonard, you probably think of a couple things. You think of he's a winner, he's a two-way player, and his laugh.
I don't even know where you're sitting at. Like.
But Kawhi has arguably been the best defender in the 2010s, racking up 2 Defensive Player of the Years, along with multiple all-defensive teams, a lot of them being first team all defense. And especially with the Spurs, Kawhi was a defensive beast, and that was evident in the 2014 finals. When matched up with peak LeBron James, he made life difficult for LeBron, just getting steals, being a pest, and that really made LeBron have stats way below his averages, and his efficiency was much worse. Over the last couple of years, Kawhi still has been an elite defender, getting steals and blocks while also guarding the opponent's best player. However, he converts more energy into offense. In San Antonio, he didn't shoot too often, and that allowed him to go 110% on defense. He's still an all-defensive guy, but he definitely isn't the same as Spurs' Defensive Player of the Year, Kawhi. Now, people do recognize that he isn't the same defender anymore. I would say his defense is slightly overrated, but it definitely isn't. It's still an amazing defender. Now, he isn't as fast on his feet anymore. He struggles to go side to side, not as fast as Spurs Kawhi, but still a top 10 defender, maybe even top 5. I would probably say, it changes a lot, but Giannis, Ben Simmons, probably Rudy over him. Then you would have like Anthony Davis or Drew Holiday, people like that over Kawhi now, but it's definitely still an amazing defender. It's slightly overrated though. Now the next take comes to us from Jimmy Butler, and he says, Chris Paul is more impactful than LeBron James. Chris Paul and LeBron have been the most experienced vets in the NBA, and even at age 36, they have had top 15 seasons in the NBA, and they were on a banana boat, which was pretty cool. But both impact the game at the highest level. LeBron carried a mediocre 2007 Cavs team to the finals, and after leaving the Cavs in 2010, they became one of the worst teams in the NBA and ended up with the 4th pick in the draft. And to do that, you have to be a really bad team. Every time Chris Paul joins a team, they get so much better. From the Hornets where he was drafted, they were a bottom 5 team, and then they became a perennial playoff team. The Clippers, taken from the worst franchise in the NBA to a competent team, and then the Rockets going from a good team to a 65-win team. The Thunder, they overachieved everyone. They had a 2% chance of making the playoffs. And this year, the Suns, they were expected to be like the 9th seed, but they are currently in the Western Conference Finals and are the favorites to make it out of the West. And nobody saw that coming. Now, who is more impactful between these two? It's pretty close. It may be Chris Paul because he always overperforms with the Hornets, Rockets, Thunder, Suns. But Chris Paul hasn't won a championship, while LeBron has won 4. And I would argue that LeBron is the best leader in the NBA, and he knows how to lead a team, evident of his 4 championships. It's close, and I can definitely see both sides. I would personally do a slight edge to LeBron because he has the rings, but you can't deny both of these guys' impact. And I would say if you did it like on an all-time scale, you have to include both of these guys top 10 in the most impactful players of all time. Finally, the last take we're going to be looking at comes to us from Pippen Ain't Easy, and he says, teams like the Dallas Mavericks, Milwaukee Bucks, New York Knicks, Denver Nuggets, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are 1 star away from a deep playoff run. The NBA is as talented as ever, with contenders facing each other in the second round with the Bucks and Nets, and all-star caliber players just not being good enough to make the All-Star team. Therefore, many teams are just outmatched by teams like the Nets or the Lakers. I know the Lakers lost, but they won the championship last year. And teams like the Mavericks and the Knicks no doubt fall into the category that is basically one piece away. And with them not being able to go over the hump, I think they need that one defense for the Mavericks, offense for the Knicks, and then I think they can really become a deep playoff run. Now, it is good that both of these teams are young, with Randall being like 26 years old, Luka being 23, and that definitely helps for the future, but they still have to make that big move. For the Bucks and Nuggets, they've already made the conference final, and I think that especially for the Nuggets, they just need to stay healthy with Jamal Murray, maybe get Jokic some bit help, and probably a bit of luck for like the Bucks, but still, they both have a shot at winning the championship in the next couple of years. The Wolves are one piece away from like the play-in, but not a deep playoff run. I semi-agree with this take, and it's definitely good to see all of these teams have a strong foundation. The Mavericks have Luka, the Knicks have Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. The Bucks have Giannis, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday. The Nuggets have Jokic, MPJ, Jamal Murray. And the Wolves, they have Cat, Edwards, D'Lo. And this team, yes, they do need to fix that supporting cast, maybe improve some specific things, but they are definitely in the right direction to make a deep playoff run. And with that one star who can maybe play defense, maybe can play offense, they can really become a deep playoff team. So that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time.